Hi, welcome to Mindful Healthy Habits with Kevin. Today I'm going to be talking about how to bring mindfulness into your everyday life so that you're the best version of yourself most of the time. You're not always going to be the best version of yourself. There's levels, and your levels are going to go up and down throughout the day depending on what's happening. If you're feeling really, really good, your levels might be a 7 or an 8 out of 10. And if you're feeling low and tired and stressed, you might be a 3 or 4 out of 10. Those levels can fluctuate throughout the day, but you also have the tools and the control to raise your levels anytime you want. Anytime that you're feeling a little low, you can do some breath work. You can go for a walk. You can close your eyes and meditate for 5 minutes and you'll feel better. You'll raise your levels up. What technique I'm going to tell you today is to be mindful about what you eat. Be mindful of what you put into your body, and then maybe more importantly is how you feel after. Some people are totally lost when it comes to what the food is actually doing to their body. So it looks good, it smells good, and it may taste good, but then after you feel terrible. And sometimes people don't even realize it was from what you ate. They just kind of brush it off. They say, oh, I ate too much, or oh, I'm kind of tired right now. And they just make excuses, but it was directly like 99% of what they ate. Now, some people have food sensitivities. These aren't allergies. I'm not talking about allergies, but some people have food sensitivities that they're not even aware of. And the only way to really know what those sensitivities are is to have some kind of a food journal. Write down what you ate as best that you can. Make a list of what you had for your breakfast. And then for the next half an hour to an hour, just be mindful of how you're feeling. And then write down what you were going through at that time. If you get a faint headache all of a sudden, there's something in that food that's triggering that potentially. If you feel really tired or sleepy after, there's something that you ate that just doesn't resonate with you. Of course, if your stomach feels off or you have an upset stomach or something like that, definitely there's something in that food, something that you ate that is causing that. Now you have a list of everything, or close to everything that you were eating. So now it's a process of elimination. Maybe the next day you take 1 or 2 things out that you think may have caused it. And again, notice how you feel after. Be very mindful of how you feel after. If there's a change, you might be able to, by doing that every day, consistently, you might be able to find a food that if you take out, you feel great. And if you add it, oh, I don't feel so good. So maybe you can pinpoint that specific food sensitivity by doing a food journal. This food journal also helps keep you in the present moment because you're listening to what your body's telling you. Instead of just eating and then carrying on with your day, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that message the body's trying to tell you, like, I wouldn't eat that again. And it does. It gives you messages like, nope, I don't like that. Don't do it again. And so you got to listen to that. And you got to, write that down like, ooh, I didn't feel good after eating this, this, and this. So I'm going to take one of those out and see if I feel better. And just experiment with different types of foods, what you're drinking with it, and just make kind of a food diary almost. What you're eating and then how you're feeling after. Now, we're going to be talking about mindfulness and eating, We're going to talk about how you eat. Are you in front of a television set? Are you talking? Are you distracted by stuff? You're not really tasting your food. That's another really important aspect of this, is to be mindful of what you're doing while you eat. If you're eating and you're present with your food, I believe that it's going to resonate with you a lot better than if you were distracted doing stuff and you're not really paying attention. You're not really noticing that you're eating too fast, right? You should slow down. By eating mindfully and not having those distractions, you will definitely slow down your eating. You won't eat nearly as fast as if you were kind of lost watching something on television. You also will eat less because you'll be eating slower and you'll feel full. Sometimes people eat so fast that they put more into their stomach than they need, and then by the time that signal comes that you're full, you've overeaten. So by mindfully eating, you're also giving yourself a chance to just eat what you need and nothing more. So think about having at least one meal a day. 2 would be ideal, where no television is on, maybe some music in the background, and be mindful with what you're eating. The example I always use of this is say you're going out for your birthday party. Someone's taking you out to a really fancy restaurant. You know, the plates are like $50 or more, like it's really expensive. And you're really excited, you're looking forward to it. The restaurant smells good, everybody has really good service, everything's great. You pick out your favorite dish, a dish that you've been looking forward to. It comes, they place it on your table in front of you. It smells good, everything looks good. You take those first couple bites and you're like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever tasted in my life. And then maybe even the waitress comes over and the waiter comes over and says, how's your first few bites? You're like, so good, so good. But then what happens after that is you get lost in conversation, you get lost in thought, you get lost and you don't actually taste the rest of your meal. You go through the whole dish and maybe you taste the last couple bites and the first couple bites, but everything in the middle is lost. You're not connected with the taste. You're not connected with how special this is. You know, it's an expensive plate, and you're not really tasting most of it. You're not. Your mind is somewhere else. Now, ideally, when you're, have conversation before the meal, have conversation after the meal, but try to have some moments during your meal where there's no talking and you're just tasting the food, actually swallowing and noticing what it tastes like as you're eating it. Then you're really getting your money's worth here. You're really enjoying that dish, as opposed to just a couple of bites at the beginning and maybe a couple bites at the end, and then all of a sudden, like, it's gone already. I don't even remember tasting most of those bites. So be mindful. If you're going to put work into making something that you really like eating and that you enjoy eating, at least give yourself the opportunity to taste it. Give yourself less distractions so that you can really be with the food that you're eating. And then when the food is done, then you can turn on your TV, rest, digest, whatever it is that you do after you're eating. But try to at least incorporate that into your day. You'll notice that the food just sits better with you when you're less distracted. It tastes better because you're actually mindful of, chewing and swallowing and the taste of every single bite. You're enjoying it. You're not just lost in thought and not really connecting with the actual taste. So just keep that in mind. Maybe you notice yourself doing that, where you notice the first couple bites and then after that it's a blur. You don't even remember eating the middle part of it or even the end of it. It's already gone. Your plate's finished and you don't even remember tasting most of those bites. So try to be as mindful as you can for the food you're eating, and it's just going to resonate with you so much better. I hope you enjoy the tips in this video, and I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you.